Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to show you guys my eyeshadow palette collection, because honestly recently I've been into buying so many palettes. Like I see a palette and I'm like, oh my god, I need it. Yeah, there's been so many cute palettes this year already, and there's some from last year because I wasn't really as into eyeshadow last year. Like I do a smoky sort of brown eye or a neutral eye, and that was about as far as I'd go. And then I just started copying looks like on Instagram, on YouTube and stuff like that, more colourful looks. Yeah, I know you guys might ask what I've got on my eyelids today. The liquid glitter eye thing from a Valentine's collection is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so glad I got this. I was absolutely gutted when I didn't get that Eat Cake one, and this one looks so much prettier when she swatched them next to each other. Let's get into the actual video anyway, and I'll start showing you guys my palettes because I'm so excited. Okay, this is like my just smaller sort of palette drawer. This one's got like big stuff and random rubbish in, but this is like my normal palette drawer. There's like some palettes on top of each other, and I have another spare blood sugar, but I'm starting another palette drawer like on my bedside table, so my other spare blood sugars in there, because when I first got this I was like scared I was gonna run out. So what I'm gonna do, I'll show you each palette individually and the colours inside. I open it up for you guys so you can see what they're like and which ones I've got, and yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Blood Sugar. So this is what Blood Sugar looks like. I'm pretty sure most of you guys would have seen this palette. It was so raved about last year. It was literally, I think it was the palette of 2018, but this is what it looks like inside. It's really heavy and luxurious, and it's got like this smell that no other palette has, and I don't know if it's like the leather or something or whatever material it is on the outside, but it just smells really nice. So I haven't used this one as much as I thought I would. Like this is the palette I actually use. I do have my spare one, and you can actually sort of see the stars, which is kind of embarrassing because I thought I'd be like in this every single day, especially with like the neutrals and stuff up here. I just really liked it, and I need to play with this more, honestly. It's like at the front of my palette drawer, as you guys saw a minute ago. So hopefully I'm going to play with it more because it has some absolutely gorgeous shades in it. Yeah, that is Blood Sugar. I actually missed it on its first launch, believe it or not. I wasn't as much into Jeffree Star as I am now. Like I have most of his collection of everything, so I just really like his products in general. So the next palette in my drawer is actually a really little one. This is the Bronze palette by Kylie, and I got this in her, I think it was December favourites. It had like a really good deal. It was like $180 down to $100. Like I really like that. If you're looking to try Kylie stuff and you want like a variety of things, I'd recommend getting one of her favourites bundles because it does actually save you a lot of money. I think this one is the Bronze palette, and it is in the black packaging because I didn't get it on the first launch. It was only like, I've had it like 2 months, but these are like really wearable colours. They're all, I think it looks kind of lighter on camera actually, but they are literally what I would use. And yeah, so I thought I'm gonna get and try a palette, and then I've been obsessed ever since. So I did start off with this one from Kylie just to see what her formula was like. I didn't realise it'd actually be this little. I was kind of disappointed. I thought it would be more like Juvia's Place where it's like a bigger square, but whatever. So the next palette is also Kylie's, and this is like really well loved, so excuse how dirty it is. This is the Sippin' Pretty palette, and this, oh my god, I absolutely love this palette. You can see I've literally gone ham on this shade here. What is that even called? I don't like it palettes that don't have the names by the shades, but yeah, I absolutely love this shade. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. So that's what it looks like. I usually use Birthday Bitch and the one above it a lot to create looks, and I also like dip into these neutrals here, but it's a really gorgeous palette. It has so many neutrals in, and it has nice pops of colour like all over it, so I really love this palette. It's literally one of my most reached for palettes, and I actually didn't think it would be. Like I just liked it because of the packaging, because I heard like mixed opinions on this palette, and I was like, oh, should I get it? But who can resist those sort of shades, especially like this one here, the purple. It's so unique. I'm just obsessed. Okay, this next one is also really well loved. This is the Nubian by Juvia's. Now a lot of people don't like this, and I'm not sure why, because I saw a lot of people declutter it, but it's one of my favourite palettes. Like it's such a really good neutral palette. I use the dark shade a lot because I put it on my eyebrows to like set pomade and stuff. I really love this palette. It's got such beautiful neutral colours in, and if you're looking to try Juvia's Place, I'd really recommend that. This next one is one of my newer palettes. This is the Chocolate Gold palette by Too Faced. And oh my god, I can smell it already. It literally smells like chocolate, but it is almost an all shimmer palette except for these like neutrals here. So it is absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to play with this more. But I actually swatched, I think it was like Rich Girl or something, and when I went to put it on my eyelids, because I always try and swatch it and then put it on my eyelids just to see how well I think it will perform. Even without primer, I'm like, ugh, give it a bit of a chance, and I wasn't that impressed, to be honest. So I'm hoping the formula will be a bit better, because everyone was hyping about this, and I think it was the gingerbread spice palette, and I only got this because I couldn't get my hands on gingerbread spice. That's why I got this one, and it just smells amazing. I actually did have the chocolate bar and the sweet peach palette, but I got rid of them because I just didn't really like the colours. They're those sort of colours that just blend together and just look muddy in my opinion. Like, that's how I got looks out of it anyway. Oh, this next palette, I actually picked this up the other day. This is the I Heart Revolution palette, and it's the cotton candy version, as you can see by the pink candy on the front. And I don't usually like Revolution, to be honest, for like eyeshadows and stuff. Like, I like their lipsticks, but I saw this palette and they just did so well on the colour scheme. Like, if I like the colour story, I'll usually save up and buy the palette or get the palette, you know. Okay, next to my Urban Decay palette, so I've got Naked One here. I don't actually use this at all, really. I can't believe they discontinued this. I'm actually gutted because they have some really beautiful shades in it. So this has been discontinued, unfortunately, so I would grab it if you guys can at the minute. So that's Naked One. Okay, Naked Two. This was actually the first palette I bought, which was high end. So this is what it looks like. I went crazy when I first got it, and I've literally used all the first shades. Like, completely gorgeous. It's got like cooler sort of shades, so if you're someone who likes cool tones, this is probably like a palette for you. Okay, so next up is Naked 3. This one I had quite a while ago as well, I think. I got this when it first came out, or when like a few months after it came out, because I like to watch reviews on palettes before I get them. But this is a really gorgeous like pinky neutral palette, and I need to use this more, so I put this towards the front of my palette drawer so I can reach for it more. I really love whatever look I create when I use this. Okay, then I have the Naked Heat palette. This is gorgeous. I actually have started to use this more now. I put it in my like everyday makeup drawer. This has just got some gorgeous like warm smoky shades, and I'm all about like warm tone. I don't know if it's my colouring or something, but I don't really wear cool tone eyeshadow for some reason. So this is actually my favourite palette from Urban Decay that I've tried. I really like this, like the square side, like it's really easy to store and travel with. Okay, so the next one I got is the Naked Cherry palette. This hasn't been out that long, but I was so excited to get it. I was umming and ahhing for ages, and I'm so glad I did. It's such like a spring palette, and I can't wait to create like really nice looks with it. It's got such gorgeous shades in. I love the packaging as well. And the last Naked palette I got was the Naked Reloaded, which literally just came out the other week. I haven't got the smoky because I don't really do cool toned or smoky looks, but this palette, oh my god, I did a look with it the other day. So pretty. They've also made like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's like a fabric sort of case instead of like the classic tin or plastic, but it's gorgeous. You don't get a brush with it at all, but it is just absolutely stunning. I'm so excited to continue playing with this. I love it so far. If you haven't picked it up and you love Urban Decay shadows, I'd definitely recommend getting this. Okay, this next one I have is the Carnival palette by Beef Perfect, and it's a collab with Stacey Marie. I really love her work, by the way, on Instagram. I follow her and I'm just obsessed with the eyeshadow look she creates. This is her palette. This is so good. This actually took me a while to get my hands on because it's always sold out. I haven't really played with it. I use the highlighters quite a bit, as you can see, but I haven't really played with it like properly. It is so gorgeous. It's got a really nice mix of shimmers and mattes, and it has 2 highlight shades as well, so I'm actually really impressed with this palette so far. Really love this palette. If you haven't got it, I'd recommend. I have such a hard time storing my eyeshadow palette. Can't they all be the same size? Okay, so the next palette I have is the Luna Beauty palette. I used to love this palette so much. As you can see, I've hit pan on the neutral shade. This is a really good palette. Like, when it first came out, I got it because it's just so diverse. You've got your neutrals, you've got your shimmers in the middle, and then you've got like the bursts of colours. I just really enjoy the colour story of this. It is just gorgeous, and I'm really glad I got it. I really want his new palette as well, the Luna Beauty, I think it's like Greek Goddess palette. This next one, oh my god, I was umming and ahhing if to get this for ages because I heard so many bad reviews about it. The Too Faced Birthday palette. This is amazing. It smells like birthday cake, and you guys know I love Too Faced stuff. I really like how they've like reformulated for then and now. Obviously that's the theme, and it is so good. I like these 2 on the end as well. They're quite unique. I don't see many palettes with like double colouring. These are gorgeous. People were saying like they aren't very good to use, like they aren't very good formula. I haven't had any problem with mine. There's a few mattes, but it's mainly like shimmery glittery palettes, so yeah. Okay, so the next palette I've got is by Coloured Rain, and I never reach for this, and I really want to because it's so pretty. It's got such a pretty colour story as well. You can make so many looks out of this, honestly. Foils are gorgeous. I buy literally any palette that's got foils foils in it. The colour story is kind of like dark for me. I tend to use like these sort of shades, and the shimmers, like if there was like one light shimmer in, it would just be literally perfect for me. Now I have the Jeffree Star palettes, a few more of them anyway. This one is the Androgyny palette. It's got a really nice packaging. It's like snake skin, gorgeous bronzer colour if you like my sort of skin tone. I mean, but this is a really nice palette. I've used it a couple of times. I mainly use it for this colour and this colour, and this for the like bronzer. But yeah, this is gorgeous. I don't really reach for these aren't as pigmented as I'd like them to be, but the rest is actually really good. Then I have Jeffree's first palette, which is the beauty colour one. This one I quite like as well. I really like the colourful looks that you can get out of this. I don't really use this for like a one look palette. Like I tend to grab a few palettes if I'm using this, because it's got like quite a few shimmery shades, there's not very many mattes, and it's quite hard to like make a look just using the colours that are in there. But I had to have it because I love Jeffree, so these products are amazing. Then we have the Thirsty palette, which came out last summer, 2018 summer, and this is gorgeous. Like these shades in the middle literally sold me. If he made a palette just these shades, I would have bought it, honestly. Really like the bottom row, not too keen on the top row to be honest, which I thought I'd actually really like. Okay, this one is just this is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. Why is it not focusing? Thank you. And this has such gorgeous packaging. This just makes me want to go on holiday. Every time I use it, I want to go on holiday. Like, it is so good. It's got the biggest mirror ever in it, and then it's got these gorgeous shades here. Now the only complaint I've got is they don't really seem summery to me, whereas if I look at the packaging, you think of summer. It's really nice, like the colour scheme's really nice, but in my opinion it doesn't really go with the packaging, if you guys know what I mean. Kind of like the Violet Voss Flamingo palette is what I expected this sort of to be. The colour scheme, I mean, you know, that's just my personal opinion. Now I have two of the new, well, this one's new, this one's not so new, Kylie palettes. Now this one, I don't know what's going to happen with it because of the drama. Obviously, if you guys haven't been living under a rock, you'll know Jordan betrayed Kylie and Chloe and all that drama. I'm not really here for talking about that, but I don't really know what's happening. But this palette is absolutely stunning. The foils in it are insane. Literally this colour here is absolutely mad. It is so unique, and this is literally what I bought the palette for. I've used these today, like these couple on my eyes as well. These are just gorgeous. They blend so easily. This is literally, this and Sipping Pretty are my favourite. I got this palette because I thought it was really unique. I wasn't really that fussed with Kylie palettes until I got the Sipping Pretty palette, and then I just was like, oh my god, I need it. But I wanted this for quite a while, obviously before they all had that fight, but I'd have still probably bought it anyway. But this is just so gorgeous. The colour scheme is so nice, and I really enjoy using it so far. And I have the Kylie Valentine's palette. I was a bit disappointed with this, and I kind of killed the red with my fingernail, so just ignore that. I hate that when you literally have long nails and you just like flick your nail accidentally and it gets in the palette. It's like, I was disappointed with this. Mattes are gorgeous, blend like a dream, really pigmented. And this shade here as well, what are you called? Heartthrob. That's really gorgeous. As the shimmers, I expected them to perform like foils. I don't know why, because she never said they're going to perform like foils, but they don't really. Like the last two as well, you can kind of see which are going to perform better. These last two are more like glittery. Can you see that? Than any of the rest. I really like the mattes though. Like the mattes are absolutely gorgeous. I can't fault them. But the shimmers, I would have expected a lot more colour payoff. They are quite sheer, but you know. And something on the front as well, like hearts or something. Not just like that Kylie thing. On the whole, quite good. I really prefer the Jordan palette though. If you're going to get a palette, I'd get the Jordan palette. Let's talk about the Huda palette. This is, so I had the Rose Gold Remastered before this, and I sold it literally about a year ago because I didn't really like the formula at all. This, on the other hand, is gorgeous. I haven't actually played with the mattes in this palette very much. Like, I've swatched all of them except the concealer. I'm going to take that out because it is just such an inconvenience. I don't like that at all. But these four, like, I thought these were glitters. They're not. They're literally like pearly sort of shade. They're so beautiful though. If you want to see swatches of any of these palettes, just let me know down below and I'll do like a different video swatching them all if you guys are into that. This is, I think, is really gorgeous. Like, there's two nice glitters. I think it's a bit of mix match though, because like there is a lot of mattes, a few shimmers, a pearl shade. I got this palette the other week and it's just beautiful. It's so beautiful. I look at it and I'm just like, oh, in love. The front of the packaging is really nice as well. Okay, so the next palette I've got is the Too Faced White Peach palette. I'm thinking about getting the peachy mattes as well because I really like the packaging on this. And I used this for today's look. I used Glistening Peach, and what was the other shade I used? Peach Sorbet. So I used this one and this one here. and I used another palette as well. I dip into loads of palettes. I don't really have one palette that I can just use for everything. I don't really have many palettes like that. Well, I have bigger palettes like that, but I prefer to like dip in and out of palettes. But this one is really, really nice. I like using small palettes as well, like in opposed to like bigger palettes. But if I got a small palette, I can dip into like all the shades and create a really nice look. I really like it. If you have any suggestions what palettes are like that for you, then let me know down below, because I'm always looking to find like the perfect palette, you know what I mean. I really love Too Faced at the minute. I'm getting so many of their palettes. Now this next one is Ciate, and I love this. Like, the packaging got me for this. Like, I don't think if it didn't have this such exciting packaging, I wouldn't have got it, to be honest, but the packaging just absolutely sold me. So this is their Glitter Storm palette, obviously, as you can tell by the front, and this is what it looks like. These three here, they are so pretty. It doesn't even show on camera how nice they are. These two here in the middle are shimmers as well. This one and this one. I didn't realise that until I actually got it. I was just obsessed with the glittery shades. They're so pigmented. The Glitter Storm shadows are just gorgeous. I'm obsessed. I love them. I'm so glad I got this palette, and I really can't wait to play with it a bit more. I wish it had a few more neutrals in opposed to these dark shades, but I suppose they've got to make it so you can sort of do one look with it. Personally, I wouldn't do one look with it. I'd have to dip in and out a few of the other palettes, but this is actually really gorgeous and I'm really glad I got it. Okay, so this palette, oh my god, I got this recently, so I love this one so much. BH Cosmetic palettes are just, they're so underrated. They're so gorgeous. I keep looking at them online. I'm like, I need more. This is the Sylvia palette by BH Cosmetics, and this is gorgeous. So if you look at the colour scheme, love it. The highlight shades are gorgeous. They're just stunning. Like, the shades are absolutely gorgeous. I could get a whole look out of this easy. So I absolutely adore this palette, and I really like the names as well, like Chanel and Prince and all that. It's so cute. It looks really luxurious as well. So okay, so I have the Violet Voss palette, the hashtag palette. This is like one of the most colourful Violet Voss ones I own. I don't really reach for Violet Voss. I don't know why. The colours are absolutely beautiful, especially this bottom row. Something about me and pinks and purples at the minute is just insane. And I'm not really doing many eye looks with pinks and purple shadows, but I'm like most drawn to them. It's got all the neutrals and a few pops of colour, obviously. And I really like how they've done it like row by row, like themed it. So like this is an orangey, like peachy sort of row. This is more yellowy, lemony sort of colours, except this one on the end. And then purples, and then you've got the neutrals. So yeah, I really like how they added a black on here as well. Violet Voss have such a nice formula. I just never reach for the palettes. I don't know why. It's really weird. Like, have you got some eyeshadow palettes that you really like but you don't reach for? It's so bizarre. So this Violet Voss palette is the Holy Grail palette, and I have like 4 Violet Voss palettes. I was debating getting the little ones that have just come out, but I don't know. Anyway, this is the Holy Grail palette. This is gorgeous. I'm obsessed. Like this shade here, like that pop of colour at the end, just perfect. The formula is all very much the same, like very well formulated, really nice, consistent through all the palettes in my opinion. This is probably the palette I use the most, the Holy Grail palette. So I've got the Matte About You palette, and this is what it looks like. I bought this before the other two because I was very much into neutrals only and not really any colour when I got this. This is really gorgeous if you're looking for a really nice neutral palette just to like put a base down or get like a base shadow before you put shimmers on. This is really good. So I usually use this and then like one of my other Violet Voss palettes. And we have some Juvia's Place ones. This is the Festival palette. Probably the one that I don't use the most, to be honest, out of all my Juvia's Place, but it has some really nice bright colours in, so if you're looking for bright shades I would really recommend this. All Juvia's Place palettes in my opinion are like so pigmented. Like I literally didn't even touch that and I got a load of red on my finger, and I would really recommend them if you're looking to try any. I would probably go for like the Masquerade palette if you're looking to start trying Juvia. This is like more of a bright palette, and I have the Zulu palette, which is what I use the most. I didn't think I would, but it actually surprised me. I use this the most. This is also quite a colourful palette, but it's more like of a wearable soft sort of, except the two at the top. But I did a look the other day using the bluey sort of colours. This comes out like a tealy turquoise, so this is one I reach for quite a bit. And then we have the, I don't know how to say this word, I don't know, I really don't know how to say it, but that's what it is. So we have this one. I don't really use this either. I use it quite a bit at the start, the lighter colours, but it's kind of like got a weird colour story. Okay, this is one of my favourite palettes ever. This is the Dose of Colours Desi X Katie palette. This is their second one, the bigger one. The first one they came out with only had 4 colours in, but this one is gorgeous. The blue actually made me get this palette, but this sparkly gold colour right here that I've used pretty much all up. It's like glitter that just sticks to your eyes like it's magic. Like, you don't need glitter glue or anything. Obviously you need like a base, like a primer, but it is so good. I love this shade. Yeah, and this is like a really good neutral base, so I really love this palette. I'm actually thinking of repurchasing it before it sells out everywhere, because I just love that glitter shade so much. But I don't know if I'm going to use it as much as I did before, because I've got other palettes now. But this is gorgeous. I don't know how you're supposed to use an eyeshadow palette within 12 months. Like, does anyone actually do that? Tell me down below. But the packaging is gorgeous. It looks like a little purse. Like, don't you think it reminds me of like a little purse or a phone case? Like, okay, so next I've got my Anastasia palette. So this is the Sultry palette. This is gorgeous. It is literally amazing formula. Pretty much all except the Subculture. Even though I haven't had a problem with Subculture, I still don't reach for it because I've got like this presumption it is not good. But yeah, so this is the Sultry palette. I use this quite a bit, mainly for like the lighter shimmers in there. But yeah, Anastasia formula is always bomb. Then we have the Norvina palette. This is my favourite one. I need to use it more, to be honest, but this is my favourite. I just like how it's laid out with the mattes and then the shimmers, so you can see I've dipped into quite a few. Beautiful palette. I really love that one. Then we have the Soft Glam palette, which looks like this. This is another one of my favorites. This is really good if you just want to like travel with a palette, because it's got such like wearable shades in, and if you just are like going abroad or something and you just need like a palette to take with you, I would probably take like this, because it has like the neutrals and then a few shimmers, so it's quite versatile. Then we have the Modern Resonance palette, which looks kind of weird and off-coloured, but yeah, this is like the first eyeshadow palette I bought from Anastasia. Gorgeous. Has a few shimmery shades, mainly mattes, but still absolutely stunning. They're not as like glittery as the other formula, I've just noticed. Still love it though. Then we have Subculture, which I don't really use. Like, I use the shimmers more than anything, to be honest. It has a really unique colours. Like, they're sort of like grungy colours, and I really like that. I really want to use this shade as well. I need to use this more. I don't think it's a bad palette, to be honest, because I got it after all the shit was thrown at Anastasia for the formula. And then last but not least is the Prism palette, and this is a lot of people's favourite. I can see why. It has so many unique shades in, like the purple, the emerald sort of colour, and the blue. They are so unique, and not many palettes have like this sort of neon yellow just randomly stuck in. I just really like the colour story on this. It's really like, it's just something I haven't seen before from any other palette, like the colour story set out like this. Really beautiful palette. I love this. Okay, next I've got the Pretty Rich palette by Too Faced. This is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. I was pleasantly surprised when I opened this, and this is what it looks like inside. It is so beautiful, so beautiful. I've never seen the pan shaped like a diamond before. Absolutely stunning palette. I'm so glad I bought it. But when I swatched the glitters, they're gel glitters basically, so you can literally swatch them and put them on your eyes and it looks like you're just wearing glitter without all the hassle of glitter glue and everything. Here you've got a mixture of mattes and shimmers, and they're just, I love the colour story in this. Is beautiful. I think all Too Faced product, and I say all, I mean most, are just absolutely stunning. So next up I've got the 15S, and this is gorgeous. I've used this on a look for my mum, and also I've used it for me a few times, and this is just stunning. I really love purple shades, like I said before, and this has got neutrals, purples, and like glittery sort of shades, so I was literally in love when they came out with this. I saw this on Instagram and I was like, I need it. And also a rarity about Morphe, it has the names next to the shadows, so I was like, double bonus. I don't know why I like it so much when I see names by shadows, but it just makes me so satisfied. And then I have the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Bling Boss mini palette. I do have her actual big palette as well, I'll show you guys in a sec, but I only got one from her Vault collection because I didn't really like the colour story of the other ones. There was, does it Ring the Alarm, that I thought I would like, the orangey pink palette, but I didn't really think I needed it because I do have quite a few other palettes that I like that. But this one I just really loved, just like the colour layout and everything. They're really good, they're really pigmented, so I really enjoy this palette. And then I have three more little palettes from Too Faced. This one is the I Believe in Pink, obviously like a pink theme. I got this for Christmas. This is a blusher as well, and this is the Natural Beauty palette. I didn't show you guys the front. And it's got like a shimmery bronzer in. I don't use that at all, so I'll use it as an eyeshadow. As huge as that is, I don't think I'll ever run out. But yeah, they're really nice. I think I got this like 2 Christmases ago, so I probably shouldn't be using it, but they're still really cute. So, and this one's probably my favourite. This is the Super Fun Night palette. Absolutely gorgeous, neutral shade. So yeah, those are those 3. So that is all of my smaller palettes. I'm going to show you guys my larger palettes. So I have the James Charles Morphe palette, which is absolutely huge. I didn't actually realise how huge it would be because I can't store it very well, and it has those stupid plastic sheets with the name on. Really nice palette, really, really colourful and massive. Yeah, this is really good. If you get your hands on it, it's a really good palette, like if you're into colours and all that. It has got some really nice neutrals in the middle. They're massive pans. So, okay, so this is the Alien palette by Jeffree Star. I think this is my favourite one he's actually done. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do, just because of the colour story. The formula is fantastic. It's amazing. It blends amazing. And I've wanted this colour for so long. Urban Decay had it, and I could never get my hands on it, and now I've got it in this palette. I was just like so content. It's just so gorgeous and unique. Just love it. Like a greeny sort of grunge. So yeah, I really, really love this palette. I need to play with it more. I did a look on my Instagram with it and I absolutely adored it. I didn't use it since. So I don't really get a chance, to be honest, to like play with eyeshadow as much as I like. So the next is the 35B. To be honest, I don't really need this and the James Charles palette because they are basically the same. If you haven't seen my video, go check it out. A really nice colourful palette if you're into just colours. Next we have the 35B. This is my favourite 35 palette I own by Morphe. Absolutely gorgeous blues, purples. You know what I like. Blues, purples and neutrals. Like that, this is literally my palette. I just love the colour scheme in this. It's really, really gorgeous as well. I just don't like how it doesn't have the names on the inside, but I can deal with it for the pretty colours, you know. And now I've got a really, really old Morphe palette before they changed their logo. Like, can you see? This is the new one. This is the old one. So this was the 35V. This is the 35O. This is like the oldest palette I actually have, and it's really, really dirty, and I used it quite a bit when I first got it. Really, really beautiful neutral shades. This is when I was like really, really scared to play with colour, but yeah, it's a really, really pretty palette. So I have one more Juvia's Place one, the Magic palette, and this is really gorgeous if you like colour. Absolutely stunning shade. It's got a good mix of mattes and shimmers, and it's got quite unique shimmers as well. Juvia's Place formula is always spot on. So next I have the Jaclyn Hill palette, which is the original Jaclyn Hill palette. Really, really gorgeous. I like these blues here, and it has obviously warm. So I really, really love this palette. It's absolutely stunning. Everything from Morphe palettes, they're just so gorgeous. Like the colour story on most of them is just stunning. And then my last but not least palette, Violet Voss, Ride or Die. I never reach for this because it's massive, but I should. It's got such beautiful shades in. I really like how they name all the shades like a different girl's name. It's really, really cute. I need to reach for this palette more, to be honest. It's got absolutely gorgeous shades in. Like if you're a makeup artist or something just starting out and you need like a good palette to practice with, I would definitely recommend getting this, because I know it is like 70 quid. I waited for the sale to get this, but it is really, really good. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I will do an update on this at the end of the year because I am still really obsessed with eyeshadow palettes, and I'll probably be getting a lot more this year on all the new releases. I will let you all know at the end of the year what my eyeshadow palette looks like. I'll probably have a different layout if I'm still obsessed as I am. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!